In this video, I want to show you how you can use a CAD program, Bluebeam Revu and Powerpoint to create a CAD portfolio. So the workflow will go something like this. First, you want to open up a CAD program and then open up a drawing file. What I have open on the screen right now is an Inventor drawing, and so I'm using Autodesk Inventor. I've opened up a drawing that has 4 sheets, and we're seeing sheet 1 of 4 here. And if I go over on the left hand side to the browser and click on the sheets, I can go through sheets 2, 3, and 4, and we can see what's on there. So I'm going to go back to sheet 1, double click there. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is output my CAD drawing as a PDF. And there's a couple of ways you could do this. You could print it, and inside the print command you could choose to print it as a PDF if you have that option. Another thing you can do, depending on the software, with Inventor we can come over here to the File tab and pick on that, and we can actually use Export, and we have the option of export the file in PDF format. So depending on the software that you're using, you may have to research that a little bit and see how's the best way to export the CAD drawing file as a PDF. So I'm going to choose PDF, and it immediately takes me into the Save As window here, and so I just need to decide where I want to save this. So I'm going to save this. I have a Google Drive already set up. I've got a class number here, and I'm going to save it inside Blackboard Files. It's going to be called Butterfly Valve Assembly RevB Checkprint.pdf, because that was the name of the drawing file. So at that point, all I have to do is pick Save. And it says this already exists. In my case, do you want to replace it? Yours probably won't say that. I'm going to choose yes, that I want to do that. All right. So now my drawing has been saved out as a PDF. So I can go ahead and minimize my CAD file because I'm not going to be in CAD anymore. And instead what I'm going to be in is something called Bluebeam Revu. Now I'm going to just close this guy down and close this right here. And I'm going to go down to my search window here, and I'm going to start typing Bluebeam, and what comes up is Bluebeam Revu here. I'm going to click on that, and let me tell you a little bit about Bluebeam Revu. Bluebeam Revu is a software that is used a lot in industry. I have to pick I accept, by people in industry to open up drawings and make marks on the drawings whenever they're checking a drawing, or just commenting on a drawing. Multiple people can use this at the same time, but the good thing is it's free to students, so students can download this entire program, Bluebeam Revu, for free. And in Blackboard I have a link to that, but I'm sure if you go and search for Bluebeam Revu, you'll be able to navigate around and find the download for students. Alright, so once you've downloaded Bluebeam Revu, just open it up, then come over to the File tab, pick on File, and pick Open. So what we're going to go open is the PDF that we just printed a few minutes ago. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive again, and my drive. I'm going to navigate over here, and hopefully I can find that drawing. So I'm going to pick right there, and that should open it up. Now Bluebeam will allow you to open multiple sheets if you want, and you can see those right down here. In fact, I think I opened just a single sheet drawing. Let me see if I've got a multi-sheet drawing in this one right here, because I kind of wanted to show you a multi-sheet drawing. Let's see if I'm in the right place. I think I am. I don't know why that printed as a single sheet right there. Well, it doesn't matter. If yours printed as a multiple sheet, right down here on the bottom there will be an arrow, and you can just pick on the arrow, and you can just scroll through the separate sheets that you have. Alright, so what I wanted to do anyway was just focus in on how I would capture this one sheet and put it into a PowerPoint slide. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that I'm going to get a high quality screen capture, and that is I want to have high resolution on that capture. It's really not a screen capture, it's called a snapshot in this. I misspoke there. So what I'm going to do is come over to the Revit tab right over, or Review tab right over here, pick on that, choose Preferences, and I'm going to go right over here on the left hand side and choose Tools. And it says Snapshot Resolution because I'm going to be taking a snapshot. I'm going to pick on that down arrow right there, and I'm going to go all the way down and choose 600 for my snapshot resolution. All right, so that should give me the highest resolution snapshot that's possible in Bluebeam Revu, and then I'm just going to pick OK. The next thing is to go to Edit and come down here and choose the Snapshot tool. When you do that, it's going to come up with a window or a little icon type thing tool that'll let you snag a window, and so you just pick the first corner of the window and go over and pick the second corner of your window. So let's say I go to there and pick that, and what it does is automatically save that to the clipboard in Windows. So the next thing I'm going to do, I've got that image saved to my clipboard, is I'm going to go and click on PowerPoint, and I'm going to open up a new PowerPoint file. Take a moment to open up, and I'm just going to pick on Blank Presentation. And when you do that, there's a couple of text boxes in here. I'm going to pick on that one and just pick on the edge of it and delete. Pick on the edge of this one and delete, because I just want a blank sheet for right now. The next thing I want to do is go to the Design tab, which is right up here. Pick on that, go all the way across to where you get to Slide Size, and there's a down arrow right there. Pick on that down arrow and choose Custom Slide Size. Over here you're going to see a box for the width and a box for the height of your slide. And so what we want to do is set up our slide for 17 by 11. So we're going to have 17 in the width and 11 in the height, and then pick OK. And we can pick Ensure Fit if we want. And now our slide is sized to 17 by 11. If I go over here on the side and I can see that slide, I can right click on that and actually pick Copy, and then pick one time below that and right click my mouse and paste, and I can paste extra slides in there. Excuse me, I might want to do something with the slide first, so I'm not going to make too many copies of the slide. Now, just to show you how simple it is to bring in the file that we just copied to the clipboard, I'm just going to move into the field of my drawing here and right click my mouse, and I have the option to do a paste that uses the destination theme or keep source formatting or picture. So I can actually paste that image I just captured in as a picture. So I'm going to choose that one. And so my image should come in that I just captured from over there in Review. Now, why didn't it? Why are we not seeing that? That's not good. I think we have to try that again. Let me go over to Review and click on Butterfly Valve. Why do I have two of these? Oh, here we go. This is the one that has the 4 sheets in it. This is the one I wanted anyway. So let's try it again. I'm going to go Edit, Snapshot, and I'm just going to grab a piece of that like that. It should have automatically copied it to my clipboard. So I'm going to go back to PowerPoint. I'm going to pick on this and delete out the old slide. And okay, so I have the option here of paste or paste as a picture. I'm going to try a picture again. There it goes. It went in that time as a picture. Now you can size the picture by picking on the corners of the picture, and if we zoom in on this, we actually will see that we have very good resolution. And you can tell that when you look at the text and you look at images, and everything looks very crisp, and especially the text looks very crisp. This is what we want for a portfolio quality image. So I'm going to scroll back down, scroll out a bit here so I can see my entire slide. Now you have to remember this is set up to be a 17 by 11 slide. Now if I zoom in a bit right down here, and this is actually my recorder tool, I'm going to move that over here to the side. There's a few things I can do with this if I want to. For example, I could pick on Format, which is the tab right up here, and I can go to Crop, and I can actually use these these black boxes that are on the edge, and I can drag those down, drag them up, drag them in a little bit over here, and then pick, and I can crop the image, and then I can still pick on the image and drag it by the corner to enlarge it. The reason I drag from the corners is if you don't, say you drag on one of these grips that's on the side, you will distort your picture. You can see how it distorted that when I did that. So you have an undo button right up here. So if you do something you don't like, just do an undo and bring it back to where it was before. All right, now the good thing about putting that image in as a picture is if you right click on it, you can pick Save as Picture, and you can actually save this picture, give it a name, and in this case it's going to save as a PNG file, but you can pick on the down arrow. You could choose a JPEG or some other form of output that you want. Just give it a name and find a file where you want it to go in, okay? So it's not a bad idea to save all of the images that you capture as picture images so that you have them for future use if you need to use them. So there's my slide number 1. What I'm going to do, I'm going to double click on this slide up here and show you something else a little bit about PowerPoint. And then we'll go out just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go to my Home tab here, and we have some tools when we pick on the Home tab right over here, these shapes, and one of those is a rectangle. If you pick on the rectangle tool and I pick in a corner like this and drag it, I can make a rectangle, but the cool thing about that is I can right click on that rectangle and I can go to Format Shape, and I have a couple of options. One is the fill that I have in there, and I can choose no fill, and so there won't be any color in there. If I want it to be a color, I can choose a color that I want. In fact, like if I pick on solid fill, for example, I can pick the color that I want over here. But if I choose no fill, it just makes it open. And then on the line, I can expand on the line, and it asks me for the color that I want. So let's say I change that to blue, and then it asks for the width of the line. Right now it says it's a 1-point width. So I can pick on the up arrow, and I can go along, and you can see that that line is getting wider as I click. So let's say we go up to 4 points on that. That's how wide that would be at 4 points. Now you can drag that by picking on the edge of it. You can make it smaller, you can make it larger, you can bring it in like this, however you want to do that. But what I'm doing is I'm creating sort of my own border, and I could put this border on each sheet of my drawing if I wanted to. And the way I could do that is I could come over here to where I see those as thumbnails, and I could pick on the top one and right click and choose copy. And then I could pick below and right click and paste, and pick again, right click, paste. And I could continue to make blank slides that already have the border on there. Now if I come back to this one over here, I can pick and select my image and right click and pick cut or copy, either one. I'm going to pick cut, and then I'm going to go over to slide number 1 and double click on it. Then I'm going to right click, paste, and that brings my image into my border. And so there I'm starting to build sort of some design into my portfolio. Another thing I can do is pick on insert right up here, and if you look at all the options you have, one of those options is text box. So I can pick on text box, and I can draw a text box like this, and I can type something in here. Let's see, I think the name of this project was butterfly valve. Next, I'm going to highlight that, go back to home, and this time I'm going to change the text height. Let's say I want to go to 28 point text. I can also change the color of the font itself. There's a lot of different things you can do, like here's font color. I can make that blue as well. I can even pick on it and right click and go to format shape, and I can choose to have a solid fill in there if I wanted to, and choose a color. So I could choose something light, for example, like that. Could stretch the box over. I could choose a solid line to have a line on that, and then I could raise the thickness of that, and so you can see that I've got now the name of my drawing here. I could put that, let's say, right here, and I can go in here and pick on that and right click and copy it. Let me press escape, right click, copy. I got to get on the edge of it, right click, copy. Go down to one of these other slides, double click on it, right click, paste. Go to the slide below that one, right click, paste. And the thing about that is that that is editable. So if I put a different project in there, I can just edit these. I can drag the size. I could even change the color of the background or whatever. And so what I'm starting to do is sort of build a slide design that goes with the sheets of my portfolio. And so I could have architectural work done that follows the same workflow, which first we would open this drawing in either AutoCAD or Revit or something like that, print it or save it as a PDF, and then open the PDF in Bluebeam Revu, like we did here. Be sure and go to Preferences and go over to Tools and set your snapshot resolution to 600 and pick OK after that. That ensures that you're going to get really sharp captures. Then you can go to Edit and you can go down to Snapshot. Now, just to show you, I'm just going to capture just some text, like right here, this border and title block. Let's pick that right there. Remember, once I pick on the second point for my box, it's automatically copied to my clipboard. I can switch over to PowerPoint, right click, paste, and there it comes in. Now it came in pretty large, but remember, I can just pick on it and I can make it smaller. You can also see that it came in on top of my other image. So let's say that I move this image over here and make it a little bit smaller, but I still want to have this parts list in there. One thing I can do, I can pick on an image like the parts list that I just captured, and I can right click, pick on it, right click, and I can choose bring to front or send to back. If I choose send to back, it is now behind this image here. So I have this image as the front, so it's sort of covering up part of my parts list. I can move this over a bit so I could show some more of that, or I might just want to pick on this, right click, let me pick it again, right click, and say send to back, which sends it back behind this. Now, same way with this, if I bring my image in over my butterfly valve text right there, it could come in above that. So I might want to pick on my butterfly valve and bring that to front so that it will be over what we're seeing right here. But this is just an idea for how you might go about creating slides. Remember that you can pick on something you've captured, you can pick on format, and you can go to crop, and you can crop and just get it just to show just the things that you think are important about it. If you hold down the Alt key while you're moving, it allows you to move with a little more control. And move this in. Let's move this one down like this. See what it looks like. Okay, so it looks like I clipped off the very bottom edge. I wanted a line across at the very bottom. See, I can't see that there, so I would pick on that. Excuse me, go back to Format, go to Crop, and what I need to do is I'm going to hold on the Alt and I'm going to drag that down until it's just below the line, and then just pick out here in space. And now you can see I have that line back in here. I can drag that to where I want it to be. So, you know, I'm just kind of playing around with this to give you an idea of how you might go about creating this portfolio using these 3 pieces of software. So you need your CAD program open. You need to print the file as a PDF. You need to download Bluebeam Revu at home, or come up here to the college where we have Bluebeam Revu already loaded, and you can use the computers that we have here. Be sure and set your resolution for your snapshot to 600, and then capture a snapshot. Then open PowerPoint, go to Design, set your slideshow to a custom slideshow 17 by 11. And it looks like when I was going to my design, I clicked on one of these. You can see you have to be careful as you go work your way across here. You want I just want a plain slide. I don't want anything else on there. But then you can also choose your format and crop things if you need to. And sort of what I would recommend is making sort of a master slide that you're going to use, and then make copies of that slide and add your art to it as you go along. Now, a lot of times the first slide, I'm going to drag this down like this. A lot of times the first slide right here, this will be like a cover slide. And by that I mean it would have your name, it might say CAD portfolio or something like that. Some students like to put a table of contents or something like that, or maybe put an image that's kind of personalized, something like that. So you can have a cover sheet, and then you start following it with the projects that you've created in the classes you've taken here at ACC. So with that, I'm going to end the video. Hopefully this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. Take care.